Had to recover from that. It took that took a lot of effort for me. Not gonna lie to y'all. Um, what up, y'all? It's your boy, the one and only A Switch, aka Why His Nipples So Hard, aka the Komaki Tiger Dropper, aka Maidenless and Tarnished, aka who keep putting this juice pack in my pocket, aka the undisputed, undefeated, uncontested social distancing champion. I'm bringing you yet another episode of Switches Sites, episode 145. Damn it. I had a thought in my head. I found it. For those that don't know, Switches Sites podcast is a video game solo podcast where I talk about just that. Today's date is March 17th, 2022. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Happy 316 Day. Give me a hell yeah. Give me a hell yeah. That's my cause Stone Cold says so. Cause and that's the bottom line. Cause Stone Cold said so. That's clearly my impression. It's clearly my impression of Stone Cold Steve Austin. It's I'm getting there in some way. What up, Hex? How's it going, man? That's the bottom line. I guess today is apparently St. Patrick's Day. I thought it was always the 15th, but let me do some quick research. Yeah, it's the 17th. It's weird, always associated with the 15th. Happy Pi Day. I think that happened earlier, March 14th, which is, pi is 3.144433. I don't know. I'm not going to try. I made an attempt. A lot of stuff, actually. This is a week of a lot of, coincidental, miscellaneous, not recognizable enough semi-holidays. Like, at least when you put it all into perspective. Pi Day, Austin 316 Day, St. Patty's Day. It's a lot of very miscellaneous holidays, but I digress. Outside of that, interesting news popped off this week. A couple little munchable tidbits that of course we're gonna get into. So you know what? Let's stop the dilly-dallying. Get right into it. First topic of discussion. Monster Hunter digital event dropped earlier this week. Had some interesting tidbits for it that let's see. A lot of interesting stuff. At least mainly they pretty much just showed some of the new monsters that are coming to this massive expansion. That's at least specifically the terminology that they use, which is June 30th, 2022. But they showed some of the monsters, Garen Golem. I think they said it differently, but I'm going to just say Garen Golem. Basically like a monkey / wyvern type hybrid with the, ancient, I don't even know what you call it, mythological Aztec like, structure. I think his feature was that when I'm assuming when he gets angry enough, he can use fire as well as grass or something like that properties. Which that's I don't recall ever seeing a unique hybrid of that where it's both fire and grass. Even though, I mean, well, I guess it depends on your armor and stuff, but I've never seen grass specifically as a, I don't know, affliction type in at least specifically in the Monster Hunter series. So that's gonna be pretty interesting. Yeah, Garen Gollum. I guess he seems like a what do you call it? A subspecies of who was the one? Duramboros from the previous Monster Hunter series. It seems like definitely some deviation from that monster. But you know, of course, make it make it spiffy enough to be its own thing. But looks like he'll be fun to fight against. I think Luna Garn we saw in the premiere of the initial announcement of this DLC back in, how long ago was it? It was one of the Nintendo Directs. I think late last year. So Luna Garon, like the wolf is it wyvern if they're bipedal? I always forget. But anyway, Luna Garon looking ferocious with the ice and the armor. They showed like the, I guess he can, I think in the same vein where if he gets angry enough he'll like put on this whole shield of like ice coated armor, which again looks pretty dope. You're getting some of the I guess presumably more difficult variants of some of the previous monsters that were in the game, like Bishaten, Blood Orange Bishaten. So you have that. What else? Astalos making a triumphant return from, I think he premiered, I want to say he premiered in Monster Hunter. I don't think it was Ultimate. I think it might have been like Freedom Unite, maybe. I gotta look that up now. I'm curious. Astalos. I don't recall him in like third or try, but let's see. When did he premiere? Oh, Generations. So I guess it was Generations he premiered. I thought it was earlier before that, but it was Generations. Cool monster. I think definitely a pretty solid pick to add to the repertoire of new monsters coming to the series. Also announced a new amiibo with Malzeno. I guess I believe that's supposedly the trademark, flagship monster for this DLC massive expansion. And of course the Palamute and Palico amiibo as well. But yeah, outside of that, I don't think they necessarily showed, we didn't get any new gameplay reveals necessarily, but I think they did confirm in the trailer that what was it? That new Hunter Arts, or I think it's called Wirebug abilities or whatever, are going to be in this added with this new expansion. So I assume just when you go to the menu after the game premiere, you can change your options and kind of go from there. But yeah, I don't know. I'm definitely looking forward to it. And again, at the same time, they haven't I think they held the cards to their chests at the moment. I don't think we got too many details specifically regarding of course I'm pretty certain there's definitely going to be more monsters than this, of course. If Iceborne is any indication in terms of the kind of scale of how much content we're gonna get in this game. I guess I'm more curious about what the new additions to the game with this expansion are gonna be. At least again referencing Iceborne in terms of like what is it, the wire claw, and seeing if we are gonna get something like that where it'll, just enough to kind of mix everything up, but at the same time not fully detract for people, I guess, that don't or haven't invested in this DLC as of yet. So I don't know. I'm still kind of still torn personally in terms of whether to actually commit to, starting all over again from PC just in time to get to this DLC when it drops, or stay on the Switch and just play it that version instead. But I'm leaning more towards PC now the more I'm seeing this. So at least they did, I know they recently added an update for like new weapons and armor that helps getting through the earlier parts of the game much faster. So I don't know. At some point I'm clearly gonna have to make a decision. So first world problems for sure. I mean, if they just let you transfer your character progress to PC, that just would have made life way more convenient. But I digress. Overall, looking pretty promising. They showed a little bit of the new locale, some new additions in terms, the miscellaneous, like multiplayer, like just lollyfooting with that ain't even a term, but you know what I mean. Just miscellaneous stuff you can interact with, the other players with in the new locale, and some of the new characters they showed and stuff like that. So some of the environments they did show seem pretty cool as well. But can't really get a full effect of it until after the DLC fully releases. But I mean, one way or another, definitely gonna indulge. That's for sure. June 30th, for all platforms, at least universally. So it isn't any they definitely didn't indicate like any signs of a staggered release, like I know some of the previous DLC was for like World, when it dropped on PC a while after the console versions dropped, and there was this weird just separation between the two platforms with that, where PC got like the expansions and additions and patches like later than the console versions. It was a mess. So at least now it seems to be more uniform, which is definitely a good step in the right direction. Hopefully now with the next Monster Hunter game that will come out, it seems to be like Monster Hunter World 2, I would assume, that hopefully from the get-go they will they might even like just drop it simultaneously on PC and also have crossplay as well as cross progression. That would be the dream personally, but I guess only time will tell. That's overthinking, considering we still have yet to see this DLC come out. So here's the hoping, I guess. I don't know. I mean, they presented it to us. I mean, I think it's gonna be good. I mean, is when you think about it, it's really hard to mess up the Monster Hunter formula. The game isn't really make or break on its story. It's very a minimal part of Monster Hunter. As long as it's an interesting Monster Hunter monsters to fight, interesting locales, interesting dynamics with the new monsters. That's pretty much the, I guess, loop and formula for Monster Hunter. So I don't know why I'm thinking that I don't know, as long as they can do that, which it seems like they've been doing a good job of doing so far, I don't see them, you know, having any issues otherwise. So I guess we'll find out more summer 2022. I guess it's gonna be around E3 too. So I guess maybe I think E3 is normally around the 1st of June. So probably give us a fully a lot more details and aspects to this DLC, and then right before it drops June 30th. So I'm looking forward to it. Hey, I'm ready to hunt some monsters yet again. I'm gonna keep hunting. Well, I don't know, it depends, but I digress. Next topic. Elden Ring, man, the game that is fantastic. It's just great. And I guess it is pretty surprising actually, considering how niche of a game it is in the grand scheme of things. But earlier this week, Elden Ring, from Software specifically, announced that Elden Ring has sold 12 million units worldwide, 1 million in Japan. I'm assuming that's pretty significant considering the Japanese market, I would guess. But I think 12 million, that is pretty crazy. I believe that's like even competing with like Call of Duty, which is kind of crazy to think. Like, of course, one of the big consistent gaming franchise titans when it comes to sales. So that's pretty damn crazy, considering how niche of a game this is, for the crazy difficulty, which definitely off puts a lot of people who otherwise may have some interest in it. That is pretty surreal, man. 12 million. Like, let me look at the sales. Call of Duty specifically, because I think the game before that, what was the game before that technically that they made? Was it Dark Souls 3? Oh no, damn it. Dark Souls Ninjas, Sekiro. Here's see how that, because they're going global. Not mobile, not Warzone. Like, I know, what was it? What is it called? Vanguard. I think that's technically the weakest sales of a Call of Duty game it has, but I think it's still a good indicator. Let's see. How about Modern Warfare 2? I don't care about that. They're just giving very loose numbers. That is not indicative of what I want to know. Just give me the details. Revenue. Guess they won't let me know. Oh well. I tried. Of course, they try to hold these sales to their chest if it's not as good as previous ones, but I think that's a pretty crazy amount either way. Within the first 2 weeks specifically, mind you, that's like pretty huge within that particular time frame. But I mean, personally, I could definitely vouch it's well worth it for sure. But it's, I guess for me personally, just the nicheness of it is, I think, just what really, I guess, astounds me is that considering how how much of a niche type game it is still crazy. But hey, they deserve it. Love it. We'll talk about it later. But had to show some support. You know, that's a great achievement though. This definitely doesn't feel like a niche game anymore now. Ironically, saying that, so you love to see it either way. Next topic of discussion. For Honor, I think a couple weeks ago, I want to say we talked about it. I believe so. They announced, of course, their new season coming up, and within the new season, they also did announce that there was going to be crossplay, which I think was a very highly requested. I think pretty much for any game that doesn't have it, I think a lot of people do want it. But at least this of all games, definitely, for sure, I think it needs it in order to continue to thrive. Considering this game has been going on for like 5 years, I think now. I think it dropped in 2017. So yeah, damn near pretty much 5 years. So, which that I think that deserves credit in of itself, just how much standing power this game has. I guess you would put this kind of in a niche category, multiplayer melee fighting game type thing. But I mean, it's fun. I've thoroughly had a good time with it. I've not come back to it for a while, but this definitely might make me jump back in for sure. I'm curious though if crossplay means cross progression, because if that's the case, personally, I'm looking to see if, as somebody who's played it primarily on PS4, curious to see if I'll be able to carry my progress over to PC and play that way. You know, getting the smooth, higher frame rates and stuff like that. But I think that might be further down the line, I want to say. But that's probably when I'll jump back in, considering it's been a while for me specifically. But we'll see. We'll see. But man, finally. It's still crazy to me that now we're fully embracing crossplay now. Now the competing companies are playing nice, and a fair amount of games are like crossplay supported now. Literally, I play on Xbox and I could play you on PS4 and vice versa. Still, it's a dream come true. Still thankful that we do have that nowadays in the gaming community. So you love to see it. And for this game, for Honor of all games, it's definitely going to benefit very much from it. I'm for sure feel that. So here's the hope. And actually, let me look at that roadmap for Honor. Roadmap. Maybe it's the flight. I don't think they necessarily mentioned just miscellaneous changes in balancing. Nothing towards. Yeah, I believe cross progression is probably going to be later down the line, but I mean, that's still, hey, that's a huge step regardless. So yeah, when crossplay comes into the picture, that's definitely when I'll probably more than likely hop back in, get my feet wet, and get my ass beat up, learn my lesson, and get stronger. You know, the For Honor way. So moving on. Street Fighter 5 out of nowhere just announced a definitive update for its game. It has a pretty notable amount of stuff to it. I guess the more weird stuff, they talked about a cell shading feature or filter, my bad. Cell shading filter pixel filter, which both of these filters can weirdly only be played or used in offline modes. I guess I'm curious what the reasoning is behind that. I guess maybe they would think that it's somewhat of a competitive advantage depending on the character. Cell shading filter does not look that, I guess, different from the, I guess, base filter. So at least going by the video, it did not seem that notable or I don't know, worthwhile. And then there's the pixel filter, which just personally it looked very bad. It looked kind of like, what's the word? Kind of I guess more in the way of you playing the game than anything. It felt like it just seemed like it was very distracting from the game, which I guess in that specific instance, I see why you would only want it offline. And you know, somebody making a lobby with a pixel filter to get an advantage or make some character that maybe benefits off the filter versus, you know, whatever other character that wouldn't or something like that. But new tracksuit colors for those those dope ass jumpsuits for every character. What else? Cap Jam remixes for, you know, some of I think all of the characters to some capacity. I don't think they've fully confirmed that, but that's at least what I would assume. And then probably the most, I guess, I would say notable thing of the update is balance changes. So you definitely, it seemed like they showed a lot of characters having new combos and of course like new attributes in terms of based off that being able to do all these variations of combos they otherwise wouldn't do. At least I haven't seen going by that trailer where you seem to be doing some crazy stuff. Ryu, like, what did he do? He was doing like multiple donkey kicks into like a Shoryuken and then into a Denjin Hadoken. It was like, oh, all right. I mean, of course, my guy Alex, he was doing some stuff. I was like, I ain't never seen that before. So I'm interested. As somebody who's I don't even think I got the update mess with any of the new characters, but this definitely seems to be the last hurrah before the ship sets sail for Street Fighter 6 Express, which definitely going to be pretty interesting to see how Evo will turn out with these new updates and balance attributes for, you know, these different characters, to see how things play out and see what probably is going to be the last we see of Street Fighter 5, at least at Evo, I would assume, and move on to Street Fighter 6. So here's to I don't even know. Street Fighter 5 has had a very interesting, like, just roller coaster of a life. It seems like so far, all things considered, you know, considering the rockiness with Ono leaving the company and then, you know, getting new direction and management and them, you know, at least doing a pretty good job. It seems like, you know, including some interesting characters, I guess, depending on who you ask. I don't even know, like, what is the reception behind Luke. I think Luke, it seems kind of mixed. I don't know. At least that's the impression I've gotten. But yeah, so I mean, it was an interesting ride as somebody who's like pretty casual when it came to Street Fighter. I, you know, had my bouts where I wanted to be, or attempted, keyword attempted to be hardcore about certain aspects and, you know, practicing and stuff like that. But hey, it was a good run. Good to see that at least it seems like Street Fighter 5 is ending on a pretty reasonably high note, you know, all things considered throughout its like history so far. So, and with that being said, we'll be moving on to next topic, Yet another announcement out of nowhere. Supermassive Games. For those that don't know, these are the developers that made Until Dawn, probably one of the best. Well, I guess, is it safe to say Telltale like game? I think that's safe. Telltale like game. They also, of course, made the Dark Pictures anthology, which is Manamadan, House of Ashes, Little Hope, and I think the new one that's coming out later this year is The Devil, something, the Man and the Devil and the Man. Let me fact check real quick. The Devil Inside Me, I think. I think it's The Devil Inside Me. Don't we all? Don't we all have devils inside of us? Yeah, House of Ashes, Little Hope, Man of Medan, and what was the other one? Pretty sure it was The Devil Inside Me. The Devil in Me. The Devil in Me. I was close. That's crazy. I guess they're apparently doing a whole new set of a season 2 of the anthology, which is news to me. I guess that's technically rumored at this point, but anyway, these are that's the developer that is announced this new game, presumably in the same vein, at least going by the trailer, which is called The Quarry, which is very much a cookie cutter type premise, where summer camp, at least going by their description, summer camp is over. Your choices will shape the fates of 9 teenage counselors as they struggle to survive the night. Welcome to Hackett's Quarry. You won't believe what you'll become. I guess it does have a pretty renowned cast. Of course, the biggest, at least standout for me, is David Arquette, of course, from the Scream movies back in the day. You got the one dude from the Detective Pikachu, the black guy. That's so ignorant. The black guy from Detective Pikachu. Just the ignorance of that is killing me. On my part, of course. Who's the one girl? I think I saw the one girl. I forgot her name. I know she came from Disney or something. I can't recall her name. I guess, was she the girl that might be in Insidious? What is her? Is it Ariel Winter? No, I don't recognize. Maybe it's. No, these are the more notable people. Lance Henriksen, I recall him from Aliens. Yeah. So there definitely seems to be some pretty beefy casts from previous movies. Of course, within the horror genre, as well as outside. So. I guess what's interesting is that this is published by 2K. I think previously I thought they were like exclusive to PlayStation, but I guess this is clearly indicative of them branching out to some extent, because it is coming out on PS4, PS5, PC, and Xbox. So I think, Until Dawn is only, I think it came out on PC later, but I know for sure it's exclusive to PlayStation, at least console wise. No, I guess it only came out on PlayStation, so it was exclusive. But the Dark Pictures anthology, that came out on PS4, PS5, Xbox, and PC. So, But yeah, I mean, literally Until Dawn Summer Edition. That's definitely pretty much what it seems like, which I'm all for. It's weird. Like, I'm not a huge fan of, like, I don't go out of my way to watch horror movies, but like, give me like a horror video game, I'm totally down for it. That's the weirdest thing to me personally when I think about it. But I'm totally down for this, especially if Until Dawn's any indication. You know, just a fun, innocent, well, I guess depending on the context, fun, innocent romp. Determining the fate of these characters, finding out if you picked up this pickle in the house before, you could have saved her by throwing the pickle at the enemy, because he don't know what the pick he don't know what the pickle is, so he's just gonna kill himself because he can't comprehend that pickle you just gave. Oh man. I would lose it. I would freaking lose it if that was actually like, well, oh, damn it. Looked like somebody spoiled our hidden plot point to save somebody from death. Thanks. Thanks. You actually did have to find a pickle to thwart off this unseen enemy that was gonna kill them otherwise. That's pretty accurate though. Hey, if you found this broken shard and pick it up, if you miss it, you're gonna kill Cindy. She's gonna die, and it's like, well, what about Mary though? What about Mary? I digress. Just that whole thing, I'm just a fan of. Man, I would assume probably like the what's the cool gameplay mechanic? I forgot what they call it. I think they call it movie night mode, where at least as far as the dark pictures, and I think the Until Dawn games are concerned that like you could, dedicate each person to a character and like pass the control around, and like each person is determines the fate of whatever character when their moment is up, which I always thought is pretty fun, within a community setting when you're playing, amongst friends and stuff. So very, very looking forward to this when it comes out. June 10th. That's pretty quick. Damn. Man. They were working at this for a good minute. I don't know. I feel like turning these games around isn't that difficult, since it is more QTE heavy, with a little bit of exploration in between. But I mean, hey, I say that, but I eat it up regardless. So what does that say? Clearly it says something. With that being said, I think that concludes the gaming news for this week. Let's get into what I've been playing, which probably is no surprise. Damn it. Probably is no surprise. Well, technically it might be. It might be. What am I saying? At least first thing I actually did play that that isn't Elden Ring is a little bit of a GTA Online / GTA 5. I did mess with the what is it called? It was the PS Plus free version of, well, it literally is GTA Online, but it's free if you're a PS Plus member for like, I think until June or something like that. So I guess PSA, if you do have PS Plus and are a fan of GTA, I think those are kind of I don't know. I guess I can't even say that, but I would assume that's pretty synonymous. But anyway. Yeah, so GTA Online officially dropped for next gen consoles. man, what? Let's see. This is like the fourth iteration of GTA 5 to be released. Let's see. It was premiered on 360 PS3. Got ported. Did it come out on PC before coming? I think it. Yeah, I think it came out on PC after, and then it got ported to PS4, Xbox One. Now it's coming to PS5 series consoles as well. So yeah, what has it been like? Damn near. Let's see, came out in 2013. Damn near almost 10-year-old game, still reselling. It's crazy. But yeah, so came out yet again. They say improved graphics, the ray tracing modes, excuse me, 60 FPS, performance mode. Those are at least the biggest additions. I mean, outside of that's really nothing much notably different. It seems to be like everything's all over the place when it comes to, like, I don't know, reception in terms of like, is this better than PC? It seems to be kind of somewhat, if anything, in the same line, depending, I guess, on the setting for PC, depending on, very minor miscellaneous settings, at least to my understanding of it. At least from what I played, it seemed pretty close to PC for the most part, but outside of that, I don't know. It's GTA 5. It's literally the same game yet again. Nothing really different or notable outside of that. And of course, I'm speaking this as I'm part of the problem buying it yet again. Well, only because the barrier to entry was way easier, obviously, because GTA Online is free, and that's kind of my main interest in, messing with it. But they definitely got me too, because you get GTA Online for free, before June, whatever. I want to say June 6th or whatever. And then what else? Oh yeah, GTA 5 is separate specifically for PlayStation. And if you want to play that, you have to pay $10 to actually add that to your GTA Online thing, I guess. So they did something different now where they actually did separate the two, which I guess that's probably one of the biggest additions to this version, where like you can literally just start GTA Online from the get-go without having to be, confined within this preliminary tutorial type thing where you have to play for like what feels like an hour, 45 minutes to an hour before you can actually, like, I don't want to play this, I want to branch and go back to online. Which was I think a well deserved addition for like what a damn near almost 10-year-old game, but about time, I guess. So it wasn't really that different. I guess it just started. They showed trailer of all the stuff you can do in GTA Online, that if you've already played it, you've like, oh, okay, this is just showing stuff I could do already, I guess, in a cool way. And that was pretty much it. But then again, I transferred my character, which you can do this generation. So let's say if you transfer your character previously from 360 PS3 to PS4 Xbox One, you can do it yet again, coming from Xbox One, PS4 to PS5 or Series X. And like they mentioned, I believe they mentioned in some of the Twitter and other information, that you can transfer your character from but yeah, you can essentially do it again. But I think what is different, no, well, I guess I'm comparing it to PC, because for PC it was slightly different, because when you transfer your character from console to PC, it would be a separate instance, and you could still mess with your character from the console version, and they're just two separate like entities, I guess. But now it seems like when you transfer your character from 360 or Xbox One or PS4 to PS5 or Series X, the character you had previously is gone. So you have to start a new character if you, for whatever weird reason, I guess, wanted to play on the what do you call it? Wanted to play weirdly enough on the Xbox One or PS4 version of your character you transferred over from. So yeah, I guess I guess what is off-putting is that the previous generation you could still have separate instances and it'd still be fine, but just now this generation for some reason you can't, which I guess is kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. I guess my biggest gripe, I think I briefly mentioned it, what I ideally wanted personally as someone who devoted a lot of their time after the console versions to PC, would have wanted my character to be transferred from PC back to console and, still be separate instances where, if my 120 character I transfer back to console to the PS5, but I could still play with my 120 character on PC and still play, my other character on PS5, and they're separate entities or whatever, but, have basically the same kind of basis or whatever. So unfortunately, they did say and confirmed flat out you can't do that. So basically had to use my character from 2016. Well, at least that's the last they told me I used it. So I transferred that from Xbox to PS5 since, at least that's clearly the better choice, consider the evident mass, bigger, in theory, fan base or, player base. As well as the free entry mostly with GT Online. So now I am fully committed to PS5. Well, PS5 and PC still. So that's at least what I'm rolling with. But it's funny. I literally just did that. Transfer my character. Just wanted to check everything, make sure everything was transferred over, visit some places, see how it feels, and then that was done. That was it. And then you can also transfer your story progress, which I think for some reason it didn't transfer everything fully over. I think because there was some additional additions to the PS4 Xbox One version in terms of miscellaneous, like strangers and missions and stuff like that. That I had a 100% save from 360, but I think because of the additions, the requirements have increased for that. But nonetheless, I did upload my character progress, story progress to the cloud, and then have to go to the PS5 to download it, which that resulted in me having to re-download GTA 5 on the console versions in order to do that. So, man, it's just funny when I think about it and I say it out loud. It's like, man, that shit is complicated as hell. But I mean, it's like I get it, but it's yeah, I think we're in the world we're in. I feel like it's kind of the norm now. But I know, like, speaking to saying this to somebody who has no idea or concept of video games, I think that's just like, what are you saying right now? That's just that epiphany right now is killing me. But yeah, all in all, I mean, it's GTA. I guess it works. I mean, it's 60 FPS. That's, you get the cool DualSense features. That's pretty cool. Like, when at least I noticed the most when I was driving, you can, you'll feel the resistance in the triggers and stuff, like, kind of realistically, like you would to some extent driving an actual car. Some very interesting stuff I didn't expect, where you can actually use the gyroscope in the controller. Specifically, you can like tap it, like literally shake the controller in like a reloaded motion to actually get your character reload. I think you can steer your plane and I believe your boat and stuff like that, which I thought was pretty cool. Did not expect that at all. So I don't know. I mean, it's GTA 5. That's GTA Online and GTA 5. It's pretty much it. I'm very curious though. I want to definitely see the Digital Foundry video that, like, does the nitty gritty comparisons between, PC, Xbox One, PS5, all other consoles, all that nerdy stuff, just to, you know, see see how different, how everything stacks up against each other. So that's gonna be fun. But yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, it's GTA 5 is not much other than me. I think some miscellaneous very minor clothes, and like I think some cars are available to you for upgrading. I think there was that promotion for like if you log in or download a money pack every month for PlayStation Store, you could technically get like 12 millions worth if you like literally remembered every month to download the money packs or whatever. So there's that. But yeah, pretty much more of the same, really. I guess I'm curious if you can actually play with within your family. I don't think there's crossplay. I believe there isn't crossplay, but curious if PS4 people can play with PS5 and vice versa. I would assume so. Actually, let me look that up real quick just to stroke my curiosity. PS4 players, GTA Online. Let's see. Okay, what are the? Oh, you can't. PS4 players can't play with PS5 players, and Xbox One players can't play with Xbox Series players. Oh, that's crazy. I thought that wasn't the case. Well, it seems like they're gonna I don't know. I think they will still try to keep them going. Maybe at a later date, maybe they might try to bring them together, if I would guess, but so I guess you can't, PS4 players can't play with PS5 players, and I think they're going to change that at some point. Maybe like some update that'll probably towards the end of its life, probably like literally maybe close to before 6 comes out, that you can, or maybe they might save it for 6. I could see that too, actually. I could see it going multiple ways. But yeah, so GTA 5 / online in a nutshell. The same. I mean, 60 FPS, that is a pretty substantial update, considering how demanding GTA is, even for PC standards. Like, I don't think anybody's able to get it to go above, I guess maybe if you lower the settings down really low to even get the frame rates past 60, it feels like, and maybe it's the engine or whatever, that it always seems to be 60. Generally I've not seen anything go past it, even like with the strongest, computer hardware out there. So even by today's standards, considering this came out in like damn near, I think, is it 2014? I think around 2014, I believe. But maybe later that year. I don't know. Let me see. Yeah, I guess later that year. Didn't it get pushed though? Okay, so it did come out 2015 April, but the next gen versions, PS4 and Xbox One, came out 2014. Okay, that makes more sense. So, but yeah, GTA Online. It's I don't know why I was expected to be. I don't know why I was expecting to be surprised, but yeah, I wasn't. I was like, played it for like a cool 30 minutes. I'm like, okay, cool, and that was it. So, my keyboard is acting up, of course, because of course it is. Made so many pages in my documents, my notes, and try to correct it while we live. Can I do it? Okay. Of course, moving on. Of course, got to that Elden Ring. Been putting some serious time in the Elden Ring because it is great. I'm loving it every more and more each time I'm playing it. It is man. It feels like I feel like I discovered everything, but then I like the other day I was doing some more research on it and like finding out like there's like 30, 50 more areas I did not discover after what this is being like damn near 70 hours in to date. It's crazy to me. I feel like this is gonna be like Skyrim Persona 5 levels of hours, maybe close. I'm guessing I'm probably like 130 hours I might be done, or might I might actually explore everywhere possible within the game, at least that I'm aware of, outside of maybe some other hidden requirements and stuff, or maybe things I'm locked out of because of story or quest line choices and things like that. So, but man, I'm I think I'm level 80. I'm almost hitting level 90, I think. But been enjoying it, been upgrading my weapons. Actually standing a chance against bosses now, which is, I always love the progression in Souls games where, getting your ass whooped early on, and then the more you're finding stuff and souls and items and other things that help you out, you're just much more stronger, have more defensive options, aren't as just, I don't know, hurting as much in the early game. And I think that's a part of the game, I think, that generally does commonly go unrecognized, is like, and it came to my head, playing this game. But I guess you can kind of attribute it to it being more open world now, since you do have more flexibility to do more side stuff, which in turn makes you powerful in of itself. But at the same time, you're getting the benefit of, discovering a new cave or labyrinth or tomb, and, upgrading that way. But at the same time, getting, miscellaneous items that even help you out and, amplify your play style and things like that too. So, and it's funny, some of the stuff I've seen that I've not even messed with can literally break the game and put it on easy mode, unintentional easy mode for the most part, that I haven't even discovered. But I think a new patch just recently came out earlier this week that also like nerfed, I think, some of the most game breaking stuff I've seen. Like it was this one, I think, magic move that shot this like what felt like an infinite beam of just death that was shredding enemies left to right. I think they like, yeah, you know what, we might need to patch that. That's a little too strong. So R.I.P. to those folks. I guess the magic arc, I think arc, and I forgot what the magic builds are. I believe it's arc, maybe dexterity, intelligence, and mind, or something like that. I think mind is intelligence or something like that. But RIP to those. I think they aren't hurting too bad. I think there is probably some other pretty still reasonably powerful magic moves and abilities that they could still use too. So yeah, I don't know. It is crazy to think, but I think I I really want to play this again after I beat it, which I don't think I've really said, this deep into a game. But I definitely, for sure, if anything, I'll definitely play the first couple hours just to see what New Game Plus is like and kind of expectations and being able to improve my stats to the max. I think I do want to pursue and see how that plays. I don't think I've ever really played, I guess outside of Bloodborne, replayed a Souls game multiple times because technically it gets more difficult with each subsequent playthrough, New Game Plus subsequent playthrough, afterward. So I'm very curious, at least for traditional, I guess, Souls game, I guess compared to Bloodborne, how that's gonna be. And I don't know. I just want to explore everything in this game, man. I don't know. It's got that effect on me, but really thoroughly enjoying Elden Ring. It's man. Even having not beaten it yet, it's gonna be tough. I have a hard time personally seeing what game could beat it for this game of the year, other than like the top of my head, God of War Ragnarok, if that comes out this year. I can't think of any other ones. Probably something out of the woodwork that maybe would seriously compete with it. I guess that at least isn't on my radar personally, but I don't know, man. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough to beat this game. It really is. Personally, yeah, it's definitely in my running for sure. So, Elden Ring, man. It is. It's funny. It's like I think this is one of the most games, one of the most notable games, the recent memory that actually felt like it lived up to the hype. I think a lot of other games I can't think of that at least missed it by a bit or a smidge, or like totally missed it and totally disappointed. But I don't know. I think it's actually surpassing, at least personally, my hype for it. So, it's good. It's so good. Love shouts out to the patch notes as well. I think one of the updates I didn't notice until they dropped it was that they added NPC icons to the map, which, considering the damn scale of this game, is like pretty crazy when you like think about it. Like trying to remember all these locations, even though they give you the tools to manually mark on the map. Like, okay, there was a person here of note in terms of a particular quest line, but at least now I think the requirements are still you have to meet the person or see the find the person in the wild, but after you find and talk to them, they will then show up on your map as an icon when you're looking to see if you want to, who's that one dude that sells the sacrificial twigs or whatever, that you can actually reference it on the map. So that is one of the most best notable at least updates I definitely noticed first and foremost. And I was like, I thought because I was playing the game and literally like for the 60 hours I played it, you had to find the maps for each location, which I actually didn't do for a good amount of the map, the world map. And then I actually went around to actually finding these specifically, found the maps, and then the day after I noticed these, icons showing the names of the people to interact with. Where there, I was like, is that maybe because I maybe unlocked all the maps or something like that? But then, of course, after the fact, I was like, oh, it was a patch update that happened. So, man, definitely one of the best additions with this patch update for sure. I'd say, I'm totally digging it, thoroughly digging it, even. So, but yeah, I mean, it's no news at this point. Elden Ring is great. It's fantastic if you're into it. Keyword. I know it's but it's funny. It is an interesting yeah, it's like, yeah, like I said a little bit before, it's just like I never really thought about it until, being in it. But yeah, it's like literally if you play it enough, struggle enough, you do get it to a point where you're just pretty much OP and, able to actually take out a lot of bosses reasonably well with lesser tries, at least the stronger you get, which I think this game, given that it is open world, definitely caters a lot to that compared to other games where it isn't as easy to do that, which I think is, in retrospect, I think does add to the game being a little bit more accessible in that respect. If you, I guess, if you work hard enough at it, which I think, depending on who you act, is kind of still counterintuitive to it being accessible. But I mean, I don't know. It is a lot of ways that you can actually get by with this game without having to be, I guess, quote unquote good. But I mean, there is still that barrier of I guess, for lack of a better term, being good. I mean, just noticing patterns and stuff like that, and actually getting through those things, I think it feels definitely more easier than other games, just based off of like, you get your ass kicked by this boss, and you getting that into feeling like, I'm not good enough to fight this boss yet. I can come back later, and then actually being able to come back and actually having an easier time, and then actually beating them and getting whatever you got from them, I think is a interesting new type of fulfillment I'm getting from this game compared to the earlier Souls games, where it's like a much more higher hill and curve to learn, and then after learning it, getting that immense sense of dopamine and like, yes, I overcame something that was very difficult and succeeded, So yeah, I don't know, but yeah, I am. This is definitely goaty feeling for sure. This definitely, it feels so premium. It feels so premium. Um, yeah, Elden Ring is great. It's really good. Thoroughly enjoying it, very much so. Well, I think that's enough gushing. What for? I don't know how many times I can gush about Elden Ring at this point, but hey, we gushed it up. And with that being said, that concludes all the games I've been playing this week. Let's get what I've been watching, which has been Shenmue. I think the last episode premiered. I think what I watched was the last episode of this season. I need to double check that. So there were 6 episodes, at least specifically for this season. Yeah, so this episode 6 dignified this last weekend, and then there's 2 more episodes. Okay, so presumably this weekend and the weekend after that. So I guess there's 2 more episodes left for this season. Which, yeah, at least as a fan of the games, which I think if you're not even a fan of the games, I think you'll still get a kick out of this show. But as a fan of the games, I think it definitely enriches enjoyment of this show a bit more too. Thoroughly enjoying it though. This recent episode, this last episode seems to literally be like in Shenmue 2 now, in terms of as far as the game's like storyline is concerned. And then I guess presumably 7 and 8 is probably going to be yet further more into 2's storyline. And then I'm not sure I'm curious what they can do now, because I think potentially they might have just literally put one and the game's plot of 1 and 2 into one season, and maybe go with season 3 or the third game as the second season. I could see them potentially doing that and like literally fulfilling the plot of 2 within these last 3 episodes, maybe, or possibly maybe doing a little bit of majority of the plot of 2, and then still digging into it in the next season or something like that. So, but I'm digging it. You seeing the I forgot the character, the girl with the bike. She made an appearance. If you know the game, you know what I'm talking about. The girl with the red hair, the orange hair, and the bike. Move over, you idiot. I think she said something like that. You know them Shenmue characters. They just be they be tripping. But yeah. So, I'm digging it, man. I really am. I hope it gets a second season. I'm curious what the reception is towards it. Considering this is a simultaneous type deal that is premiering on Adult Swim as well as Crunchyroll. So I'm curious. I think this is definitely the first type of hybrid show format that they're doing. I think it sets itself up at least to still be, I guess, continued, considering ratings. And I don't know. This is a weird hybrid. Like, what is the bigger determining factor? The ratings for Adult Swim or the, I don't know, viewership on Crunchyroll, which I think is still a weird type of thing in of itself. Like, I guess presumably that Crunchyroll and Adult Swim are putting money into this project or have. Very interesting to see how this plays out. I hope it gets a second season though. But I guess we won't hear any confirmation yet until presumably the end. I don't know. Also, watched Attack on Titan, of course. Of course, I was watching the other episodes. I felt like I didn't want to talk about it, the previous episodes of the show, because like I didn't really, it wasn't anything notable. It felt, I guess, kind of fillery to me personally, but at least this episode, some stuff popped off, some conflict with old friends, and that whole kind of turmoil. Not to spoil anything, but definitely got pretty heated in more ways than one. That's for sure. I guess you can interpret that as a pun, but I didn't mean it to be a pun. But you know what? I'll let it. It could be interpreted as one. I'll say that. I mean, it's Attack on Titan. I'm loving it though. It's you feel conflicted and very confused considering the where things are going right now, but I'm still interested. I'm still invested. I'll say that much. So yeah. And then of course the show Walking Dead. Man, this episode hit home. It really did. It really did. So this episode, spoilers for The Walking Dead if you care. This episode takes place with Eugene at, of course, what is it called? Not Hilltop, but damn it, Commonwealth. Pretty sure Commonwealth. And he's with the girl that he was on the radio the whole time with. That everything seems to be good, sunshine and rainbows, and then out of nowhere, after what they admit that they love each other. Eugene loves I forgot her name, the girl, and the girl loves Eugene. And then of course, just that perfect timing, pretty much after that happened, she goes missing. Oh, what happened? And then pretty much the main plot of this episode was that of kind of like a murder mystery type thing where he's trying to find out the clues of what happened to her. And then eventually, he finds out that she isn't who he thought she was. That she was like literally somebody else and just, posing as this person to appease him and to get him to come to the community and, basically get him to get all of his friends, at Hilltop and Alexandria to come within the Commonwealth eventually or whatever. And just the deception. You lied to us. Wait a minute. I think this was was this the last episode? I feel like I'm repeating myself. Maybe I think it was. No, it wasn't. I'm totally repeating the last episode that I talked about before. Damn it. What was this episode now? I'm confused. Fuck. Damn it. It was something. Oh, no. Yeah, so basically this was with the Commonwealth coming to. Yeah, totally. Wow. I just had a moment. This was basically the Commonwealth coming to Hilltop and Alexandria to convince their communities to join with the Commonwealth. And basically the whole turmoil of them, Maggie's being like, no, I don't think I want to join you guys. And then some of her crew actually joining them as well. And, then that kind of turmoil. And then what's his name? The car salesman dude. I forgot his name, but he's like kind of I don't even know what you call him, but he's a pretty integral part in the Commonwealth who's trying to get people to join. That he's actually been doing some dirty stuff, and they aren't as peachy as they kind of indicated that in the last episode, but they aren't as peachy as they've been presented to be. How they're doing drug deals and pushing drugs and stuff like that. And this kind of reveals a little bit more of that, and them being weary of trusting the Commonwealth people, and being shown why they shouldn't. But it's gonna be interesting to see what happens now, considering that. And it seems like, at least what they hint at the next episodes, are like there's probably some traitor or somebody who's plotting to, I don't know, convince the Hilltop and Alexandria to join the Commonwealth, and kind of deal with those antics in some way, shape, or form, I'd assume, or something like that. So interesting stuff, I have to say, at least as a fan who's been with The Walking Dead through the good and bad. This season is definitely at least interesting so far compared to a lot of other ones that weren't as high. I can at least say that. So, pretty much outside of that, that's pretty much been it. So, with that being said, I think that will conclude episode 145 of Switch's Sights. If you did like and enjoy the podcast, feel free to like, rate, and subscribe on your various podcasting platforms. What else? You can catch this podcast be recorded live on Twitch TV/aswitch, where I generally record on Thursday evenings. You can also catch archives of this podcast on youtube.com/aswitch as well. Yeah, until then, happy what is it, Stranger of Paradise, I think that comes out, as well as what was the other one, I guess Tokyo, Ghostwire Tokyo comes out next week. But until next time, get your damn game on, feel free to fuck. Oh yeah. Nobody's safe.